Okay, we'll welcome those joining us in person slowly as they come back from the roundtables. But to continue the day and to close the day, we are joined online by the incredible Michele Jawando of the Omidyar network to close out our set of provocations with a fast, sharp look in a lightning talk format of the role of philanthropy in shaping a responsible AI ecosystem. We're very excited to welcome Michele to spend the next 10 minutes with us, telling us about her thoughts on how philanthropy is going to be a guide and a inspiration in the way we actually build out responsible AI. Over to you, Michele.
Good afternoon, all, and I extend my sincere apologies that I cannot be there in person with you. But this conversation in this moment is too important to let just pass by, and so I'm honored and privileged to be with you today. The question that I want to begin, the provocation really, is who do we want to be? I think we are living through a technological revolution that is unfolding at unprecedented speed. And AI is fundamentally different from past waves of innovation. It doesn't just change how we work or communicate, it works directly with human cognition, decision making, and creativity itself. But I am a firm believer that nothing is predestined. There are no inevitabilities, and AI is not destiny, it is design. That means that we have the opportunity to shape and make the design choices about the products, the launches, the models that are released to our communities all over the world. And the direction we take as society is shaped by the choices that we are all making today. Decisions about who builds AI, who benefits from it, and whose values will shape it moving forward. That will determine whether AI will amplify human needs or erode them. And I know many of you are here today because you are feeling both those possibilities and also those same tensions. So, what does it look like to thoughtfully innovate without causing harm? How do we operate with public interest in mind? And what does good governance and innovation look like where we can inspire global frameworks in service of civic good? Those are the right questions. And in this moment, we all have the responsibility to shape AI, from business leaders to policymakers, diplomats all over the world, funders, nonprofit leaders. We need to build a bigger table with a range of perspectives, talents, and skill sets. And so at Omidyar Network, I have the pleasure of serving as the president, and we deeply believe in the power of institutions. We've continued to partner with the United Nations on so many things, including a recent grant to UNECA supporting digital infrastructure, standards, and technological capacity across African countries. We were among the first members of the Digital Public Goods Alliance, a UN endorsed initiative that helps countries discover and deploy open source technologies. It now has over 50 members, including countries, UN bodies, and development banks. We've contributed to the UN High Level Advisory Body on AI, which was launched in October 2023 and helped establish the Digital Cooperation Fund alongside the Gates Foundation and with other countries like the Netherlands, Germany, and Switzerland. This fund pools resources to tackle global digital challenges, particularly AI governance, digital human rights, and digital inclusion. This will take international cooperation from all of us. And finally, we've co-founded MOSIP, which is a modular digital identity system now operating in 25 countries across Asia, Africa, and Latin America. MOSIP is built with privacy and security as core design principles. digital public infrastructure that protects individuals while enabling inclusive ID systems. There is a common thread that you see running through all of our work: ensuring human rights, guardrails, and governance are built into digital infrastructure from the start and not after. Philanthropy must stand together, believing deeply in the power of that bigger table, and must add the resources, capacity, and support to make sure that this technology is steered by humans collectively and not the other way around. And we funded over 90 organizations working at the intersection of AI and good governance, and invested 125 million in making sure that tech is more responsible, inclusive, protects safety and privacy over the last 5 years. So what can philanthropy uniquely do at this moment? What is our mandate? The rapid proliferation of AI across every aspect of our lives is forcing us to ask those fundamental questions about what kind of world do we want? And how are we a part of shaping the future we imagine for ourselves and our loved ones? AI, for many of us, feels like it is something being done to us, not with us or for us. And philanthropy can play a unique role in countering this by expanding who has a seat at the table and empowering people, governments, communities, NGOs beyond just Silicon Valley to influence how AI is built and governed. But we can't do this alone. This fall, here in the US, we launched Humanity AI with 9 other US foundations. It's a $500 million commitment over 5 years to ensure that civil society and NGOs have power in shaping the future of AI. Our goal is to bring in more voices from the NGO and civil society community to meaningfully influence how AI is developed, how it's governed, and who it ultimately serves. We will do this together by building a talent pipeline, amplifying the public voice, and making sure that we support the creation of public goods. Now, we all know that drawing on expertise is so needed, so we will make sure that we're working across 5 priority areas: labor and the economy, humanities, security, democracy, and education, broadening the influence to include a wider audience who will determine the future of AI. I am genuinely hopeful that we can not only address the challenges that we face today, but we can shape a future in which every community has the opportunity to thrive. Doing so requires us engaging directly with the leaders, the companies, the change makers closest to this issue, rather than assuming that those holding power and resources will choose to alter course on their own. This is the work that we're doing at Omidyar Network, building a world where creatives, workers, parents, policymakers, technologists, the private sector, and young people are all in concert working together, making sure that voices that have traditionally not been at the design table have real power in shaping how AI affects society. But there are challenges to be addressed, especially when it comes to how power is distributed globally. We need to do more to bring civil society, academia, industry, and government around convening and collaboration. The real challenge is building public interest models, access to compute, and building alternatives. Today, compute is worryingly concentrated in the US and China, while Africa has only 1% of data centers, despite immense talent. We need more initiatives and problem solvings that comes together, like the NAIR initiative, the National AI Resource Research, that provides data sets, compute architecture, and problem solving resources to academia. Make sure that there's greater chip investment to diversify AI stacks, and more open models so that we can build smaller models, like some of the work that we see our partners in Current AI, Mozilla, and Allen AI, who are pioneering initiatives in an alternative open weights model. Globally, we have to continue to do a better job of enforcing labor standards, especially as they pertain to AI, and more robust enforcement of existing labor law to protect workers from intrusive surveillance is critical. Finally, I want to share that although there are many challenges that lay before us, I also see immense possibility. I come to this moment with a deep sense of responsibility and hopefulness about the future. Throughout my career, from Capitol Hill to multinational tech organizations, and finally in philanthropy, I see that the work in concert together can move and change the direction of this technology. Technology is never just about the tools, it is about the communities, it is about agency, power, and who gets to shape the systems that increasingly influence our lives. And just like any movement that shifts power, we know that this requires effort, sustained effort, unlikely allies, and a refusal to give in to cynicism. AI is not destiny, it is design. And that means that there are choices to make of who imagines it, who builds it, and who benefits from it. Let's make sure we all use our collective power to ensure that that kind of inclusive design is a blueprint for all human flourishing. Thank you so much.
Michele, thank you. We're deeply grateful for that intervention and that powerful reminder. I think the last 1.5 days have been about design and taking that agency and power back. And I also want to thank you for the foresight you have in making that huge investment of $500 million in humanity AI, so that agency and power and voice of civil society, and that the public voice has the funding and backing to influence the direction and design of AI. Again, thank you so much.